For the past few weeks, there have been rumors and concerns regarding Mark Consuelos' health. Less of them have been spotted in public by their fans. The television was interrupted on occasion, and there were whispers going around among close friends and family members that something was not quite right. Now, however, everyone is aware of the truth. It's Mark. The condition known as consulosis is characterized by a severe health issue. It is not true that the evidence originated from a gossip column or from a person who did not wish to be identified. In a straightforward manner and with tears in her eyes, Ripa, the woman who has been with him for 30 years, expressed her opinion. In a chat that was both intense and genuine, Kelly went into detail about the truth that they had been living with. She stated that they were no longer able to conceal it. Due to the fact that her voice was shaking, she had to take a few breaks in order to recover her strength before continuing to speak. The sadness that could be seen in her eyes was the kind that could only be felt by someone who was deeply in love. Having this talk with a prominent person was not like any other conversation. A marriage that had been put to the test by the most difficult situations in life was the subject of this unusual and honest insight into the marriage. The fact that Mark has been experiencing health issues that have been kept a secret up until this point was disclosed by Kelly to everyone as a family. They felt it was time to share their story with everyone. She described him as a fighter who, even when things were at their worst, made every effort to prevent other people from experiencing the misery that he was experiencing. On the other hand, she has seen everything inside the closed doors. It was the late-night excursions to the hospital, the secret conversations with the physicians, and the phone calls that caused her hands to shake to the point of shaking. She mentioned that there were instances in which she sat by herself and gazed into the darkness, pondering whether or not the individual with whom she had constructed her life would survive to see another day. Recently, Kelly expressed her feelings by stating, "Mark is the love of my life," while tears streamed down her face. "I cherish each and every moment that I get to spend with him. My experience has taught me to take pleasure in each and every day." The health issues, according to Kelly, began to manifest themselves in the background. Mark noticed that he was experiencing fatigue, soreness, and a desire for additional rest as the initial symptoms. He was under the impression that it was simply the strain of having a packed agenda. Over the course of several years, he has been a cast member, producer, and co-host on Kelly on Live with her. At first, he felt it was just stress, but as time went on, it became increasingly difficult for him to ignore those smaller indicators. Mark passed asleep at home, and Kelly relayed the terrifying story of what happened that night. After that, everyone rushed to the hospital, which ultimately resulted in a paradigm shift. No family wants to hear, "the doctor said," for the very first time in that same place. There was more to it than simply being exhausted. After that, the Consuelos Ripa family experienced a change in their circumstances. After bringing in specialists, treatment plans were developed for the patient. Over the course of their lives, they moved from having a regular rhythm to medical habits, constantly monitoring, and never knowing what the next step would be. The dynamics of family life have shifted over time. Their children, Michael, Lola, and Joaquin, have developed a stronger bond with their father and have become more protective of him. On the other hand, Kelly is trying to strike a balance between being strong and vulnerable in her current situation. Alterations have been made to the schedules. It has been decided to either put work projects on hold or to relocate them to another time. Mark claims that Kelly has quietly withdrawn from a number of plans because she desires to be with him on a more intimate level. Although this being the case, Mark continues to make an effort to be the warm, cheerful, and humorous person that everyone knows. Kelly recalled that even while he was in the hospital, he would make jokes with the nurses. For example, he would ask the nurses whether his hospital gown came in a tuxedo style, or he would make fun of the idea that he wanted to start an exercise class called 4-Drip Pilates. However, Kelly mentioned that there are times when things are too difficult to take, days when the suffering never ceases, and days when fear prevails over optimism. She noted that these are the days that lie beneath the smiles. She continues to assert that Mark's determination inspires her to strive for greater success. She only requested one thing during the interview, and that was to be given some breathing room. Using kindness, she emphasized that Mark's recovery was the most important thing, despite the fact that she is aware of how much people care. Requires time, space, and tranquility. In conclusion, she made a statement that was uncomplicated but profound. We are able to do this. Mark has a significant amount of life left to live, and I will be here for the entirety of it. Even though Kelly did not provide any specifics regarding Mark's treatment, it is clear that Mark's health has been of greater importance than his work and projects. According to friends of the couple, Mark does not feel guilty about removing himself from the public eye in order to concentrate on his family and making progress in his recovery. From all of this, there is one truth that stands out. The connection that exists between Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa is something that cannot be severed. In spite of the fact that it is being tested in ways that very few people can possibly imagine, their love has grown considerably. It is not the only thing that the story is about. It is important for all of us to keep in mind that life might change at any moment. There is no amount of fame, fortune, or success that can shield a person from the challenging aspects of being human. Are you someone who believes in the power of love, hope, and perseverance in a particular endeavor? Should this be the case, kindly convey your thoughts and support to Mark and Kelly. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to their story and enable alerts so that you can track its development. This is news that is spreading beyond the realm of Hollywood. This is a tale of friendship, love, and the unwavering commitment that people have for one another. On television, Kelly Ripa and her husband, Mark Consuelos, shared a touching and poignant moment in which they discussed a personal health condition that has had a significant impact on their family. The issue in question has been quite difficult for them. The emotional interview that was broadcast on live with Kelly and Ryan revealed that Mark has been experiencing health issues for some time now. These issues were highlighted during the interview. They discussed how vulnerable they were and how difficult it was for both of them emotionally as a result of this news, which startled their admirers. In spite of the fact that he is prominently recognized for his roles in All My Children and Riverdale, Mark Consuelos has never disclosed any information about his private life. On the other hand, Mark decided to share his health crisis with the entire world during this painful period. He disclosed that he has been coping with a severe condition that requires continuous care and attention from medical professionals. Before this point, Mark had never discussed the topic in front of other people. The fact that he did it was quite moving, especially when read in conjunction with the emotional responses that his wife Kelly provided. Kelly Ripa, who is always quite bright and optimistic, had a hard time containing her emotions during the interview. As she discussed the impact that Mark's health problem has had on their family due to the fact that they were in such a precarious situation, it became abundantly clear how profound their relationship is. Their connection has always been strong and united. Kelly was able to express how difficult it had been for her to watch Mark going through so much. In addition, she mentioned that they had always loved each other, but this difficulty had made them even closer to one another. The tone of Kelly's voice was heavy with melancholy as she said, "This journey has been challenging for both of us. On the other hand, we are taking things just one day at a time. I'm so thankful that we have each other." During his conversation, Mark discussed his diagnosis and the actions he is taking to manage his illness. This man appeared exhausted but resolute. No precise information provided by him regarding the illness, yet it was clear that the diagnosis was severe enough to make their day-to-day life challenging. Mark acknowledged that it was important for him to remain strong for the sake of his family, especially for their children. But he also acknowledged that there were times when the mental toll was too much for him to bear. The chat provided evidence not only of the poor state of Mark's physical health, but also of the importance of maintaining one's mental health in times of difficulty. Both Mark and Kelly discussed how they are learning to be strong as they move forward in their lives and how they are turning to each other for assistance. Kelly expressed her gratitude to their family, friends, and coworkers for their support and assistance during this difficult time. They have been supporting Mark in his therapy in both emotional and practical capacity. That Mark has a lot of people who care about him, especially his wife Kelly, is demonstrated by the fact that he has been on a long journey to better health. A great many people were struck by the fact that they were so forthright and honest when they shared this intimate moment with the common public. It brought to everyone's attention that fact that even famous people go through difficult times in their personal lives. The heartfelt conversation that took place between Mark Consuelos and Kelly Ripa demonstrated how important love, family, and support can be in stressful situations involving medical issues. It has only served to strengthen their relationship with their fans and encouraged many people to tackle their own challenges with fortitude and kindness. Being honest about their troubles has only served to strengthen relationships.